Was my music not playing? My music better been playing, man. I don't think my music was playing, was it? Well, I'm sorry about that, y'all, if it wasn't. Holy crap. It's because I had it playing through my Bluetooth that entire time. Should I play it again? Should I play it again? Jeez. Okay. I don't know, man. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention to my sound. I was like walking around in my room, not paying attention. Didn't have my music ready for you. I don't know. Actually, I wasn't paying attention. Hopefully it played, but I don't think it did. Every time I have my Bluetooth on, it won't play it on the frickin' podcast. So I was like in the background, like enjoying it myself, and you guys didn't hear a thing. Alright, anyways. Ty Sites, Shadow Games Report. Doing part 3 of Batman Arkham Knight. So much for intros. Anyways, we are going to do about 30 minutes to an hour of news before we get into the game. Let's not waste too much time. I'm going to sneak in the song either way. Alright. FBI Director Kash Patel stands firm on Epstein suicide ruling. Trump brushes off Graham's Reagan Plus praise after shutdown bill signing. Former Google engineer convicted of stealing AI secrets for China. This has been lingering in the news for several days. I don't know if there's new updates on that or what. Trump signs a funding bill ending partial government shutdown. Okay, perfect place to stop that song. Suspect arrested in his execution-style killing of Illinois bar owner. Wow. Sounds pretty insane. We also have a strange story with Savannah Guthrie's, I can't remember if it's her mother or if it's her grandmother that has gone missing. Kind of strange. Seems like there's lots of different Guthries that are being attacked. I don't know if that's like, if there's like a family of like reporter Guthries or something, but it almost seems like there is. I don't know if they're related though, so I'm not going to act like they are. Trump signs bill to end partial government shutdown, setting stage for next fight. Judge seems skeptical of legal justification for Pentagon's punishment of Senator Mark Kelly. What happened to Mark Kelly? I don't know, we might have to check on that story. Federal immigration officials scout warehouses as... Let me start that over. Federal immigration officials scout warehouses as they eye more detention space. Fed's Miran resigns from White House job. So we have a Fed resigning. Fed's Miran. Is he part of the Federal Reserve? Or he was? Either way, he's resigning from his job. It's news to me. Renee Good's brother's family attorney testified before Congress at DHS Use of Force Forum. NY Attorney General Letitia James starts new effort to observe ICE activities. The wealthy ramp up spending while other Americans tread water. New study fines. Bill and Hillary Clinton to appear in Jeffrey Epstein depositions later this month, Comer confirms. Okay, well, at least some type of movement. U.S. shoots down Iranian drone approaching aircraft carrier. Official says. Been hearing about different drones hovering near the aircraft carrier for days. Looks like Washington's not going to put up with it. Disney names Parks chief Josh D'Amaro. How you say it? Josh D'Amaro. As its next CEO. Yeah, I heard about Bob Iger wanting to step down. I think it's later this year. I don't know if it was last year or this year. I want to say it's this year. Paris prosecutors raid X offices as part of investigation into child abuse images and deepfakes. Elon Musk, SpaceX to acquire XAI, creating world's most valuable private company. Is that what that's for? I was wondering why they were like consolidating all their companies together. It's kind of strange. You would think that I don't know, maybe Tesla is stronger as a separate unit, less capable of being overcome by corruption, but I don't know. Maybe it's easier if it's just centralized, but I don't know, man. I don't know. Lots of strangeness with Trump trying to federalize the elections. I'm still trying to figure that out in my head, if that's a good thing or a bad thing. He said it's due to the rampant fraud. But I don't know if centralizing the elections is a good thing. I think we just need better oversight in each state. And if that means having federal oversight, I'm okay with that, but that doesn't necessarily mean I want federal elections where everything is basically just run by a centralized government. Like, why would you want that? I mean, that just means that if a Democrat came into power, they basically would be able to oversee all of that and probably rig things even easier, which begs the question, is the Trump administration trying to rig the 2026 election? I mean, I'm not saying he is, I'm not saying he isn't, but it does kind of beg the question, if you do try to federalize the elections, what kind of optics does that send? And also, what does that do for, like I said, the opposition if they come into power? You're not winning a lot of good points with your base right now. I mean, there is some good news. I'm not going to act like there isn't some good news. There is actually some really good news with housing. I think it's like 1 million different so-called Trump homes that are going to be built, trying to bring down the housing cost. I don't know how low that's going to bring the cost, though. It just kind of makes me wonder, is that like government housing? I mean, it sounds like government housing for white people. That's what it really sounds like to me. Like, I'm just going to be real with you. But I don't know. I mean, whenever the government came in and built homes here in Nashville, like, they built some really nice, decent homes for the black community. So it's not like it can't be done if they want to do it. It's just, does this actually bring down the housing cost of other areas? Trump acts like he doesn't want to bring down the housing cost for homeowners, which is not a good sign if you want to buy. I mean, it sounds like an older home. I mean, you would want an older home to be cheaper, right? I mean, what are the newer homes going to be made out of? Cheap materials? Is it just going to be shanty homes? Like, there's lots of questions there. And who's paying for it? How's it going to be paid for? I mean, supposedly we have bills being written up for Israel. Still, it's like every month or every other month we have like a new bill for Israel being written up. And it just kind of makes you wonder, like, okay, like, I thought we were doing something about this debt. They act like they're being cautious around it, but then they'll just, fund something that we don't want, kind of like the Affordable Care Act. That's just being refunded again. It was just like last month or last week that a lot of that got passed. At least I'm pretty sure. Sometimes it takes a while to get to the House, but either way. All right, let's see what this Fed Mirren resigns White House thing is. Stephen Mirren has resigned from his role at the White House Council of Economic Advisors. According to the White House official, Mirren has been serving since September, nominated by Donald Trump and confirmed by the Senate to the Fed. I guess he was at the Fed. In his resignation letter, Mirren stated he promised senators he would leave the White House if he remained at the Fed past January. So why is he telling them he's promising he's going to leave? Mirren's arrangement was unusual, serving in dual roles while on unpaid leave from the White House as he served at the Federal Reserve. Interesting. Interesting. Why is the Savannah Guthrie not thing on here? I'm surprised that that story is not on the front anywhere. But it seems to be a big story. I just don't understand why it's not listed anywhere, like on the screen. Either way, we'll get to it. We'll get to it. I don't even think I went all the way down where I want to cover yet. Nope. Didn't even get down to my list. She's not even on this screen either. We'll get to her. We will get to her. Black ICE agent questions protesters' gender amid Minneapolis clash. Stunning, dramatic testimony from Aaliyah Rahman, the disabled woman dragged out of her car by ICE thugs. So to say, I thought there was a different video. Either way, this might be Democrat propaganda, but I'm going to show it.
On January 13th, on the way to my 39th appointment at Hennepin County's Traumatic Brain Injury Center, I encountered a traffic jam caused by ICE vehicles and no signs indicating how to get around it. I had not wanted to pull into a blocked, chaotic intersection, but verbally agreed to do so and rolled down my window after an agent yelled, "Move! I will break your effing window!" His first instruction. Agents on all sides of my vehicle yelled conflicting threats and instructions that I could not process while watching for pedestrians. Then, the glass of the passenger side window flew across my face. I yelled, "I'm disabled," at the hands grabbing at me, and an agent said, "Too late."
Too late.
I felt immersed in a pattern.
Shouldn't be following us around.
And I thought of Genoa Donald, an autistic black man killed by police during a traffic stop in 2021. I remembered Mr. Silverio Vega Gonzalez, who was killed by ICE in his vehicle last year.
Yeah, they're going to stop it right there. You get the gist. They're trying to build up emotions around the whole incident. I mean, you're not supposed to follow these people around. You're not supposed to report positions. That's what the fear is around all of this. And if you are reporting positions, whenever this is supposed to be, I guess, semi-secretive, I mean, obviously they're doing it out in the open, but if you follow people around and you report their positions, that allows people time to move. And they don't want that, and that is impeding. Obviously. The only objection I have with this is if this is ever used upon American citizens inappropriately to, let's just say, try to deport an American citizen that is, obviously a citizen and can't be deported. That's what I kind of worry with some of this stuff. Like, there's been reports about possible IDF agents being a part of ICE, so it kind of naturally begs the question. Anyways, Clint Russell says not only do they have no intention of prosecuting his network, but they have the nerve to be condescending. I played this video yesterday, but I kind of wanted to show it again just because I thought it was odd. think it's good to show these odd videos sometimes. Some Tims.
You said this is the end of the Epstein, of your review of the Epstein files. So, just to clarify, is the public going to learn the identities of the men who abused the girls with the information that you're releasing? And if not, why not? And then I have a quick follow-up.
I mean, you just baked in an assumption into your question that I have never said and I don't know to be true. Is the public going to learn about men that abuse these girls? Like, what does that mean? I mean, I don't understand what that means.
Well, I mean...
Yes! I'm just kidding.
Men who abuse the
what I would
young
say.
women through Epstein's...
You're like, guess, moron.
Look, we said in July, and it remains as true today as it was in July. If we had information, we meaning the Department of Justice, about men who abused women, we would prosecute them, right? We talked about the work that we're doing. That's why I said that. I said this earlier. There's this built-in assumption that somehow there's this hidden tranche of information of men that we know about that we're covering up or that we're choosing not to prosecute. That is not the case. I don't know whether there are men out there that abuse these women.
Yes, you do. Shut up.
And evidence that allows us to prosecute them, you better believe we will. But I don't think
This morning, as I was preparing the show, I was preparing to report to you all about the neighborhood blockades that are going on in Minneapolis. You've seen the video, I'm sure. These civilians are setting up blockades. You pull up, and they check your license plate. These people aren't police. They're not there in any official capacity, but they check your license plate. This is highly illegal. So I emailed the city of Minneapolis, and I had a simple question. Has anyone been arrested for setting up illegal blockades, for harassing citizens, for apparently having some sort of secret database by which they check whether your license plate belongs to an ICE vehicle? And after some back and forth with the city of Minneapolis, just a moment ago, we got a response from the Minneapolis police. I will read it to you. No arrests have been made. No arrests have been made. Why? Why are civilians in Minneapolis, Minnesota, or anywhere else for that matter, allowed to go out into the street, build a barricade, physically stop other citizens, other people from driving their cars, tell them to roll down their window? I've seen video of people saying, oh, we ran your license plate through a database, and it looks like your car is owned by ICE. We need you to get out of the car. We need to talk to you about this. Let me tell you something right now. If I rolled up on some rinky-dink makeshift barricade and somebody had me roll down my window and said, hey, I need to talk to you about your license plate, well, let me just tell you, I wouldn't be putting it in park. This is not normal behavior.
Nope, that's Scott Jennings. He says, I can independently confirm that no arrests have been made as far-left radicals set up blockades and check driver's license to identify suspected ICE vehicles. Nick Sorter says, LMAO, an ICE vehicle was seen endlessly doing laps around traffic circle in Minnesota, distracting leftist activists, while the rest of the ICE convoy moved on to the next target. Arrests were then made uninterrupted.
Around the rosy, a pocket full of posies, ashes, ashes, we all fall down.
Okay, I just muted the music. You have that. What? Why? Just why? I would stop if I was the ICE agent. Make him have to stop. Rep. Tom Emmer is pushing hard for new legislation to strip citizenship and deport naturalized citizens who commit serious crimes within 10 years, felony fraud, espionage.
I believe that if you come to this country and this great country and you become a citizen, you should be assimilating. You should be trying to be a great American. If you engage within 10 years of becoming a citizen in espionage, in aggravated felony, or you're working with a foreign terrorist group, you should be denaturalized and sent back to where you came from, because clearly you don't appreciate the citizenship opportunity that you have in this country. I believe that if you come to this country and
Nick Sorter again, LMAO. Jeez. Some tranny started berating a black ICE agent, and the ICE agent looked him right in the eyes and said, "Are you a man?" It's ma'am.
Yeah, families should be ripped apart. That's kind of our energy. Like we should rip people apart from their families.
Are you a man?
Wow. Wow, is that a question? Wow. Okay.
Are you a man? It was an innocent question.
Sir, I need to move. Fucking house nigga, where'd you put the fucking KKK?
What the fuck?
Why are you calling a woman a man? I mean, what kind of a guy does that?
Fucking house nigga, bitch.
Wow. That's someone on the left saying that. Saying the N-word. Man, these people are super racist. It's such a freaking... They're all frauds, man. Everything they fight against, they actually are. They're just projecting losers. Anyways, Marcia Howard, head of Minneapolis Teachers Union, admits that elected officials are in ICE signal chats designed to track and dox ICE agents. Our bosses are in signal chats with us.
With Al Jazeera, the head of the Minneapolis Teachers Union, well, she proudly admits that elected officials are in signal chats. They're being used to share information about where these federal agents are. Listen.
The notion that people that are actively engaged in ICE Watch, in being vigilant in protecting our neighbors, in signal chat groups, running plates in their cars, doing patrols, that somehow we're ashamed of that activity, that somehow you could call our bosses or show our faces and then we would be shunned by our community. Our bosses are in the signal chats with us. Our elected officials are in the chats with us.
And I have reached out to the mayor and governor's office to get their reaction to that, Dana.
Wowzers. All right. I'm going to hit the news from both sides. Well, no, actually, I'm going to go back and see what we got over here. Mitch McConnell hospitalized for flu-like symptoms. Whoa. Right after the Epstein files, he gets the flu.
What are my thoughts about what? Running for re-election in 2026.
No thoughts.
Did you hear the question, Senator?
Just sadness.
Re-election in 2026. All right, I'm sorry, you all. We're going to need a minute. Senator.
He's crying inside. I imagine that's what that is. I don't know. Is there any actual video? No. We just get the report. Well, I guess he's on the way to the hospital. Well, may God rest his soul. That's what I got to say. All right, the general says Iran has indicated it is prepared to shut down or suspend its nuclear program in a major concession to the United States. So, supposedly, Iran might be cooperating with certain concessions. I think I said something Called it something else earlier. I didn't mean to. I think I said secession by accident to somebody else. All right. Anyways, what else we got here? Former. We're not going to go to that news again. Unless there's something new here. Why does this keep popping up again? Because people are late to the story. Douglas McGregor. This is a week-old article. Getting close to at least. Yeah, they keep talking about it. I guess this is the guy. Well, now we got a face. Former Google engineer found guilty on 14 counts for stealing AI secrets. Linwei Ding was convicted on 7 counts of economic espionage and 7 counts of trade secret theft after stealing thousands of confidential documents detailing Google's advanced AI technology. No one cares about Google. Everybody's like applauding at Google, like, yay, he did it! He's saving us! Case update from the FBI. So he's 38 years old. And he just threw his life away. Alright. I guess that's basically what we need to know about this situation. I'm done here. Epstein files expose plans for designer babies and cloning. Yikes. Billy Schreier says Vitality zero outrage. Virtually, not Vitality. Virtually zero outrage over the racial supremacy expressed in Epstein files and the derogatory use of Goyim in such emails. Of course, I will be put on the list and spied on by the DOJ and FBI on behalf of the ADL if I even mention it. Why is that? Because they're only protecting certain groups of people. And seems like the FBI has only continued to have their own war against white supremacy, or what they label as such. Epstein files expose plans for designer babies and cloning. Holy crap, this is crazy. Jeffrey Epstein was collaborating with Bitcoin developer, biohacker, and transhumanist Brian Bishop to create the first live birth of a human designer baby and human cloning within 5 years. It was conducting initial experiments in Ukraine. Sounds like you could be the first investor as long as absolute anonymity. I can never say that word. It's kept. Anonymity. Anonymity. Okay, there we go. Kinda. I never can do it, guys, for whatever reason. I have always envisioned there would be... I'm not saying that word again. We can't publicly identify whose these are, or their parents or benefactors. It would brand the child as essentially and sadly a freak for life in the media. So I had always assumed the investor would need absolute anonymity. Shit. Or these kinds of products. For the financial structure needs to be designed with these details in mind. Iran told the U.S. it's ready to suspend its nuclear program, but it will continue to develop missiles. So yeah, it's always one thing or another. It's like, okay, well, if you don't want us to have missiles, then we're going to have a nuclear program. If you don't want us to have a nuclear program, then we're going to have missiles. See, it's always that weird flip-flop. I don't know. Will we ever get past this point? I thought like big things were going to happen this week. Like there was another guy that I'm going to cover here soon. I'm trying to think of his name. I don't know. I'm starting to think he might be, or might have formerly been in the army, just because he finished his whole spiel yesterday with hula, which is usually like an army chant of sorts. Mario ZNA says blackmailed by Hollywood, not in the Epstein files. Well, that's good, Mr. Mel Gibson. Is he Orthodox? Is Mel Gibson Orthodox? Nick Sorter says Chuck Schumer just announced he will force an extended government shutdown if the SAVE Act requiring proof of citizenship to vote comes to the Senate.
Short of workers, we have a population that is not reproducing it on its own with the same level that it used to. The only way we're going to have a great future in America is if we welcome and embrace immigrants, the dreamers, and all of them, because our ultimate goal is to help the dreamers, but get a path to citizenship for all 11 million or however many undocumented there are here. Short of work.
MJ Truth Ultra says Jeffrey Epstein to Peter Thiel. Epstein represented the Rothschilds. Epstein says, as you probably know, I represent the Rothschilds. I'll be in Europe again 20 through the 28th, then Ireland. So if you want to come around the world going west, come to the island. Peter Thiel says, should be back on East Coast in late April, May, sometime in NYC or on island then. Wow, so it sounds like maybe Peter Thiel might have been to the island. Every time I say the island, I think of the movie The Island, and now it's starting to sound more and more like that's a thing. Having an island for clones. Jesus. That's pretty deep to think about. 2 children were strangled, died, and were buried during their sexual abuse. It's from the Epstein files. They need to pay for their crimes. Obviously. Anyways, done with that. All the weird movie correlations and things, it's just nuts. TV shows, etc. Nuts, nuts, nuts. Jake Lang claims ejected from Minnesota restaurant for Trump in ICE support. Charlie Kirk's widow pushes for open murder trial. Let's see what that is. Nick Sorter, I'm sorry, no, not Nick Sorter. I get so used to saying that name. Nick Fuentes says the Department of Justice should reopen the investigation into Jeffrey Epstein and his associates in light of the file dump. It's not enough for the public to see another random trench of files. The DOJ has an obligation to follow up on all of it. Transparency and accountability. For sure. No argument there. Charlie Kirk's widow pushes for open murder trial. Kaneko the Great says Erica Kirk has filed a legal notice invoking a victim representative's right to be heard, requesting maximum public transparency in the case against Tyler Robinson. She wants the public to be able to directly observe and evaluate the evidence presented to avoid the proliferation of speculation, misinformation, and conspiracy theories. Candace Owens says, people who watch my show knew this months ago. They found 5 sets of prints on the gun. Every piece of the official story is ridiculous. Apparently, whatever post this was has been deleted. Not sure what that is. The defense of the Charlie Kirk assassination case reveals that the gun and screwdriver DNA evidence is a mixture from 5 different individuals. Well, we're going to need to know who those individuals are, don't you think? Amazing how that comes out at the same time. Between Erica Kirk saying this and the DNA of 5 different people on the weapon. Crazy. Well, is Tyler Robinson a part of the DNA? That should be able to be cleared up pretty quickly, don't you think? All right. Biolab alert. SITREP, illegal biological laboratory discovered in Las Vegas residents with biological material with suspected intent to spread, linked to prior California case. Over 1,000 samples collected for testing.
Good afternoon. I'm Sheriff Kevin McMahill with the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. With me today is the Special Agent in charge of the FBI, Christopher Delzato, the Chairman of the Clark County Commission, Commissioner Michael Naft, and then Deputy Chief of the Fire Department, Chief Holding. First off, I would like to just make sure that our Southern Nevada community clearly understands this, that this is an isolated incident and there is no threat to the public as we stand here today. Our joint investigation early this morning at approximately 5:51 began when the LVMPD SWAT team served a search warrant on a house on Sugar Springs Drive in northeast Las Vegas. The warrant was related to information that a possible biological laboratory was inside of the residence. At the same time, our partners from the FBI searched their nearby home on Temple View Drive. There was no threat found at that home. And as you'll notice playing next to me while I'm talking, you'll see some of the video from our two SWAT teams conducting those raids. However, at the Sugar Springs Drive home, our teams went inside and found evidence of possible biological material, including refrigerators with vials containing unknown liquids. Our all-hazard armor team is working hand in hand along with all of the hazmat teams locally, along with the FBI, the fire departments, and all of our state partners to ensure proper recovery and mitigation of these items. This is an extremely complex investigation, obviously involving multiple agencies and a tremendous amount of resources. I want to make sure that those folks that live up there in that northeast area have a clear understanding that the very large first responder presence will likely remain in this neighborhood for several hours and potentially even days. This has to be a slow and methodical process by design. We have to take these situations very seriously, and we take all necessary precautions to keep our personnel and community safe. I would like to thank
what Ryan Mata says we should start paying attention to the citizen journalists in Utah who are covering the Charlie Kirk assassination. See if they're any good.
If you've been paying attention to the Charlie Kirk assassination, you're probably wondering what's going on with the trial. Well, lucky for you, two young ladies by the name of Brandy and Billy over on Instagram. I'll leave their accounts right here on the screen so you guys can swing over there and give them a follow. Just so happens, they've been laser focused on this. Not only laser focused, they've been going to the trial. And they got some interesting information. Check this out.
Tyler Robinson, he's the alleged shooter of Charlie Kirk, and his family has not made any public comments.
They have spoken to us. We've been keeping up with the trial, clearly. We went to the last hearing and got lucky and sat right behind Tyler's family.
Spoiler alert, they do not think that he did it.
We're going to be going to the court hearing tomorrow, February 3rd, at the 4th District Court in Provo, Utah.
If you want to join us, be interviewed by us, or just chat with us, we will be camped outside of that courthouse from...
probably all day.
Yeah. These are long court hearings.
And if you don't live in Utah or close, you can join our live stream.
And also, if you don't live by, can you help the algorithm and comment Salt Lake City, Utah, Tyler Robinson, Charlie Kirk? For people that do live nearby, we need to get this to
get the word out.
City algorithm.
See you there.
Enough of that particular story. Here's Richard Nixon, everyone.
We think, it's unfortunate, but this has happened to the Jews, happened in Spain, it's happened in Germany, it's happening, and now it's going to happen in America if these people don't start behaving. It may be they have a death wish. That's been the problems with our Jewish friends for centuries.
Well, they've always been, through the Bible at least, God's timepiece, and He has judged them from generation to generation, and yet used them, and they've kept their identity.
You see, the Bible makes a distinction, Mr. President, between two groups of Jews. One is called the synagogue of Satan. There's two different kinds. And those people, in the latter days, it's called the remnant of God's people, which will be Jewish people. And then there's the synagogue of Satan. And nearly all of your religious deceptions in the latter days what the Bible speaks, latter days will be 1,000 years, what they call the synagogue of Satan. In other words, they are energized by a supernatural power called the devil. This is what the Bible teaches, whether you believe it or don't believe it. This is the biblical teaching, and this is what I believe. And I believe that they have a strange brilliance about them. They're smart, and they are energized, in my judgment, by a supernatural power.
Well, also they do something else. They're not smart.
And you see, of course, Hitler didn't. They had a stranglehold on Germany, on the banking of Germany, on everything in Germany, and the media. They had the whole thing, you see. But he went about it wrong. But this stranglehold has got to be broken, or this country is going to go down the drain. Yes, sir.
I can't ever say it, but I believe it.
No, but if you get elected the second time, we might be able to do something. Whether we like it or not, everybody thinks of you as conservative, and then when you lean a little bit in that direction toward the sociological thing is the big thing. What's that?
It's all right to lean in that direction, huh?
You have to, or the whole thing will be closed to you. You know, I mean, I don't care how conservative. I'm sure I'm more conservative than you are. At least you told me that one time, and I think that's true. But I have to lean a little bit. You know, I go and I keep friends with Mr. Rosenthal at the New York Times and people of that sort, you know. And not all the Jews, but a lot of the Jews are great friends of mine. They swarm around me and they're friendly to me because they know that I'm friendly to Israel. But they don't know how I really feel about what they're doing to this country, and I have no power, no way to handle them. But I would stand up if you know, under proper circumstances.
So it seems like there's some Zionists. Well, he's not technically a Zionist, but maybe some people that want to speak up that don't feel like they can speak up until they see a lot more other people speaking up at the same time. Similar to this guy that was talking to Nixon here. Crazy how history will repeat itself, and we're kind of at that weird point, aren't we? We're at a point where nobody cared about Jews, and then all of a sudden everybody cares about them. So, it's just interesting. All right, Jake Lang was in Minnesota. I guess he got heckled out of a restaurant. Is that what this is? Play the video.
This is what you get when you're a patriot, right? Because we support ICE and you don't support ICE.
It has nothing to do with
that's exactly.
We're just simply allowed to not, like, he's a veteran as well. Like,
I'm the other way. We're getting kicked out of this bar here because we support ICE. We're American patriots. We support President Trump.
We're allowed to kick people out.
Yeah, I know, but why are we getting?
We have the right to rescind.
But what did we do?
Oh.
Yeah, but why? Because we support ICE. We're sitting there talking about.
Hey, we're gonna deport all you sons of bitches. All right.
Hey, white people aren't allowed.
And I refuse
Don't
to have you record
Don't you touch me. Don't you touch me.
refuse to
It's the
have
First
you
Amendment
record
right.
me,
It's the First Amendment right. Don't touch me.
Please leave.
Call the police.
Please leave.
Call ICE, actually, for you freaking illegal immigrant bartenders.
Please leave.
No, I have a First Amendment right to record in any public setting.
No, you don't.
Yes,
Crazy.
We're a private establishment.
No, it's
we're
a
not
public
public.
setting.
No, we're not.
We're
private. It's
you're
time for you to
recording
go.
me.
Go.
Don't touch me. Don't touch me.
Okay, that's enough of that. I don't want to keep hearing them yell at each other. Ron Paul questions Netanyahu's 6th, possibly even 7th meeting with President Trump in a year. I think it's actually 7, but he says 6.
The media is reporting that Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu will make yet another trip to Washington, his 6th in 1 year, where he is expected to again pressure President Trump to launch a war on Iran. Last time he was in the U.S. in December, the regime change protests in Iran were launched. What does he have up his sleeve this time? How can it be that a foreign leader has more say on whether we go to war than the U.S. Congress? Here's what we do know. Whether Trump launches a war or not, the massive military buildup in the Middle East has already cost us billions of dollars. Those are billions that, instead of helping to actually make America great again, will only make the military-industrial complex greater.
And we can't get anything.
All the American people will see.
We could have $1 trillion sent to the American people any day,
with it more inflation,
and they just won't do it.
Standard of living at home. And of course, we will see a war supplemental spending bill on top of the $1 trillion.
I mean, just imagine what America would be like if our Congress people would actually just send money straight to the American people, and or just, certain industries within certain towns. It would totally change everything. We'd be living literally on, heaven on earth. FBI Director Kash Patel stands firm on Epstein's suicide ruling. Kash Patel, with a straight face, just said he still believes that Jeffrey Epstein took his own life. The statement was made after he released the new Epstein files.
You told me when we last talked, this is 8 months ago when we did an interview at the FBI in Quantico, that you were convinced that Epstein killed himself in jail. Today, 8 months after that, are you still convinced?
Yes.
100%?
Yes, sir.
No hesitation.
You told me when we last talked, this is 8 months ago.
No hesitation whatsoever. Kash Patel just declared he's done with the Epstein files, says he's part of the most transparent administration, and has no regrets about how it was handled.
The Epstein files, the last tranche, we're told, put out. Looking back since the beginning, and you've been a part of talking about this, and DOJ has obviously produced these elements, do you have regrets about how it's been handled?
Look, like any other hot topic issue, the American public and the world had a great interest in this. And what we did under President Trump's leadership is produce the most transparent DOJ and FBI in history. 3 other administrations had the opportunity to do this, and we produced everything we legally and lawfully could. We worked with our partners in Congress, we followed the statutes and the court orders, and we produced, 3 million some pages? So I think we got to the result in the right way. Could we have gotten there faster? I'm not really sure, because of numerous court cases, multiple protective orders, multiple court sealings, and so now we've produced everything we can while protecting victims' rights and families.
Ulysses S. Grant notoriously expelled Jays from his military district. You think he was just another white supremacist? This is Candace Owens.
If you don't know what B'nai B'rith is, you got to wake up, especially if you're in America, okay? That lodge, it's Jewish supremacists. They had everything to do with the Civil War in America. They excel at creating the false dialectic, the North versus the South, the left versus the right. Ulysses S. Grant notoriously expelled Jews from his military district, Tennessee, Mississippi, Kentucky. You think he was just like what, another white supremacist? Everyone's just a white supremacist. I mean, another. They would have called him a white supremacist, or he was anti-Semitic. Everybody's just anti-Semitic. No, it said everything to do with what they were cooking up at these lodges, B'nai B'rith. That then subsequently became the ADL after the ritualistic murder of a Catholic girl named Mary Fagan. There is no hiding that anymore. I don't care if Dennis Prager's going to write another letter and say, that's not true. This case is not real. It's happened so many times during the same dates, the same holiday season, all throughout history, that it is getting ridiculous to not acknowledge that this is true and this is real. And for us to discuss this, to hear the way they speak about us behind closed doors, exactly how Sigmund Freud spoke. It's racist, right? I want to make it clear that this is, for them, a religious philosophy, a racist perspective that we are goyim, meaning cattle that are meant to be herded and ruled over. I said this at the end of last year. I said this is how I am being treated because I don't listen to them. Hence their psychotic, obsessive, and frankly, their evil manner in which they have confronted me simply trying to move on in my life after realizing I don't want to work for Zionist psychopaths. I just don't want to do that if that's cool. To them, that's akin to a buck that won't break. How dare you? They feel as maybe you or I would feel if an animal beat us at a game of chess. That's what it feels like when Candace is just like, peace, I'm out, and her life is not subsequently ruined and over. And they will keep publishing things and calling me names. Everything she's saying is an anti-Semitic conspiracy until the emails drop and Jeffrey Epstein, who worked on behalf of the Rothschilds, according to him, he wrote that in an email, the Rothschilds, who credit themselves with having created which nation state? Oh, right, Israel. Israel, the same nation state that is having a bunch of women say that they were ritualistically abused in a forest by rabbis. That's happening in the Knesset right now, that nation state, saying that they were 3, 4 years old when this happened. He's saying, those are my bosses, the Rothschilds.
You mentioned the DNA evidence. You're certainly not a DNA expert. Is that correct?
I'm not, no.
And are you aware that the DNA evidence that was seized from the scene consisted of a mixture of at least 5 different individuals?
I'm not a DNA expert, so...
So you know enough to say what helps him, but you're not going to answer whether or not there were 5 individuals mixed into that DNA?
I'm not aware of that, no.
Okay. And you're certainly not qualified to interpret complex DNA mixtures, are you?
No, I'm not.
Okay. You mentioned the DNA evidence. You're certainly not a DNA expert. Is that correct?
I'm not, no.
And are you aware that the DNA evidence that was seized from the scene consisted of a mixture of at least 5 different individuals?
I'm not a DNA expert, so...
So you know enough to say what helps him, but you're not going to answer whether or not there were 5 individuals mixed into that DNA?
I'm not aware of that, no.
Okay. And you're certainly not qualified to interpret complex DNA mixtures, are you?
No, I'm not.
Okay. You mentioned the DNA evidence.
Interesting.
Lindsay had his way, there never would have been a Trump.
Donald Trump, he would be a terrible commander-in-chief.
He was one of the most vociferous attackers on Trump early on. He said Trump would be the worst nominee in the history of the Republican Party.
You know how you make America great again? Tell Donald Trump to go to hell.
He didn't even vote for Trump. He did not change his stripes. This guy is a vehement, shape-shifting anti-Trumper. In 17, when we had both houses of Congress and the presidency, what did this guy do? He went and reinforced that bogus narrative that the Russians had hacked the election.
The Russians tried to interfere in the 2016 American presidential election. The Democratic Party of 2016 were the victims.
That had the point of carrying water for the Democrats to delegitimize Trump. When the president threatened to fire Mueller, he threatened the president.
Are you worried that the president is preparing to order the firing of Mueller?
If he tried to do that, that would be the beginning of the end of his presidency.
This is a guy who's running interference for the other side.
We're killing all the right people.
South Carolina, you need a new senator. You got my vote.
I think it's kind of funny how all these senators or people running are like using like trap music and I don't know, like DJ music and stuff for their videos. Oh, times they are a-changin'. The governor of Texas issued a disaster declaration of the New World screwworm as it nears closer and closer to the Texas border. What? From Mexico? Is that biological warfare? What is that? I'm trying to figure out what all that crap is. Clay Higgins. This is the guy I was talking about at the very beginning. Rep. Clay Higgins put out a ominous message last night, 21 hours ago from now. 2 minutes long. Let's give it a listen. Tell me what you think.
Late Monday night in D.C. Super cold, iced over. But your House of Representatives is like a big rumble gang fight right now. It's complicated what we have to do this week. And there's a lot of moving parts, but the bottom line is that conservatives in the House of Representatives are aligned with the president and his agenda. And it requires a determined coordinated focus. It's not always pretty, but in order to save our republic, we got to do what we got to do. And I tell you, President Trump has certainly earned our trust, our love, and our support through incredibly difficult times. So I'll keep you posted what's going to happen over the course of this week. It's going to be moving fast, but rest assured, America, I stand with the president, and the Freedom Caucus is completely aligned with the America First agenda. We work for you. Joyful warrior here. Oh.
Kind of strange, right? Well, it is Tuesday, and there is, I guess, some big news when it revolves around the Epstein files, but when it revolves around any type of real justice, any type of real accountability, going after the right people, we're still waiting. Still waiting on what the people absolutely want over anything else. And until we get that, I don't see the numbers for Trump really improving that much. Or at least the people he endorses, or I don't know. Like, it almost seems like the candidates he's picking are intentionally bad. Is that just me? I don't know. I haven't checked all of them, but there are a few of them. And I'm just kind of like, why would you support this guy? Senator Eric Schmidt says far-left Eurocrats want social media companies to censor Americans' online speech through regulatory decree. We rejected European control of our speech in 1776. We're not going to allow it in 2026. The EU Censorship Files Part 2. For more than a year, the committee has been warning that European censorship laws threaten U.S. speech online. True that. That's from the House Judiciary, GOP. The EU Commission pressured social media platforms to censor true information in the United States. That's from Jim Jordan. Targeted U.S. political content, interfered in elections across Europe. This decade-long global censorship campaign threatens free speech worldwide. Drogo puts out Jewish supremacists like Epstein see us as cattle goyim who are born only to serve them.
Jeffrey Epstein's bank account was called Baal, the ancient Canaanite deity which people had sacrificed their children to. A victim's diary shows that she was impregnated multiple times and forced to give birth for Ghislaine and Epstein. Israel is mentioned twice as much as Donald Trump in the new documents. Here he is discussing with Roger Schank, a Jewish-American academic and hedge fund worker, saying Jews create vast fortunes by manipulating markets and creating financial speculation and exploiting labor. He says, let the Goyim deal in the real world. In a discussion with the Rothschild family, Epstein says if they overthrew the Ukrainian government, there would be great opportunities. The Rothschild family paid Epstein $25 million for certain algorithms. While talking to Peggy Seigel, August 7th of 2010, she asks if an event is going to be 100% Jewish. He says no, they'll have Goyim in abundance. But don't worry, they're just brilliant wasps from JP Morgan. Joshua Finkelstein, BlackRock's Larry Finkelstein's son, is accused of not having any respect for non-Jews, seeing them as not human. This is from his ex-girlfriend, Svetlana. He pressures her to have an abortion. In 2017, Epstein has a conversation talking about if you want to hire the best people, you have to hire only Jews. Only hire those who can prove they are genetically Jewish. Maria Farmer, one of the first victims to come out and name Epstein.
I wasn't allowed to go get food. And when I called Ghislaine and asked why I couldn't eat there, she said, it's a Jewish country club. You're not Jewish. They're not going to serve you. They, honest to God, think their DNA is better than everybody else.
Said that their operation was motivated by Jewish supremacy.
U.S. government directly attacked the EU for essentially faking elections in Romania. This is pretty crazy if you think a bit about it. The U.S. says Europe stages elections so their candidate wins and is not a democratic. EU censorship files continued with Elon Musk. The illegal biolab was just raided in Vegas. It is directly linked to the secret Chinese lab found in California in 2023, which was oozing with E. coli, HIV, and malaria. Congress must pass our bill to find these illegal labs and shut them down.
Issue that requires the immediate
Kevin
attention
Kiley.
and immediate action from the United States Congress. An illegal biolab was just raided in Las Vegas, and it is directly linked to the secret Chinese biolab found in Reedley, California in late 2022. That lab was oozing with E. coli, HIV, malaria, and other dangerous pathogens.
I'm not going to play that whole video. It's 7 minutes long, so I'm going to keep on moving. I've also covered it yesterday, I believe. This is the end of the Jewish Golden Age, says Nick Fuentes, unless we snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. Jewish power is on the ropes. Which I think he does put a good message out. Like, we don't want to overdo this. We don't want to be the oppressor, in a sense, when it comes to, I guess, I don't know, trying to dominate Jews or whatever, trying to be overly hateful towards them. I mean, I think they'll probably see a lot of the, I don't know, negative sentiment and will want to leave naturally. I don't think we need to, like, go overboard and make certain people with a lot of power do lots of crazy things that we don't want them to do. So naturally, it's just good to be measured with our response, not be overly reactive and try to, like, force people out of their homes or anything like that, besides obvious illegals and anyone loyal to other nations. Like, that's the only condition, in my opinion. Now, if you are loyal to another nation, I think that's a different discussion. I think that you should probably, you know, go to that country that you're loyal to. And that goes for anybody in America. If you're loyal to another nation, then, you know, you don't need to be living here. That's borderline treason. And you probably, I don't know, need to rethink your loyalty and or leave.
Make no mistake about it, Jewish power is on the ropes. It really is, because that is what is happening in the world. That is what has been happening in the world for hundreds of years. It is the ascendancy of organized Jewry in the West. And the concentrated military and financial power of Western Europe and the United States has allowed Jews, through infiltration of these states and institutions, to basically become a global power. People are becoming aware of this. The Jews have overplayed their hand. They got greedy. They became filled with hubris and pride. They made mistakes. Everything is now out in the open. And even there are many Jews that are reflecting on this and saying that this is the end of the Jewish Golden Age. This is the downfall of Jewish power. I really believe that we are living through a transitional period. Saw this after October 7th. The consciousness is certainly raising. Subjects that were taboo are now acceptable, even popular. But it will all be in vain if we snatch defeat from the jaws of victory by overplaying our hand. And how do we do that? We take it too far. And by take it too far, I don't mean we take the truth too far. I mean, we get all excited and whipped up and emotional and people start talking about crazy stuff. Let's talk about reality. Israel is influencing our government. Jews are the go-between in society. It's afforded them enormous power and influence. They're using it to benefit themselves. Estranged from Christ, they are estranged from truth, good, and beauty. And so their fruits will always be bad because they're the fruits of the poisonous tree. Having rejected Christ, the only pathway to the Father, the only pathway to God, they can never access the truth, the good, or the beautiful. That is why they produce communism, leftism, extreme capitalism. That is why they produce degeneracy and a lot of the problems we see in the country. But now you see people are talking about lizard people and time travel and weather machines and all this other stuff. And here's the amazing thing. At the end of that rainbow, at the end of that train of logic, that train of thought, at the end, the people that are pushing that narrative will then say it isn't even about the Jews at all, but it's about something else.
Weeks, there has been a lot of news under the surface about the SAVE Act. This is a bill to safeguard our elections and require proof of U.S. citizenship before voting, among other provisions. Now, our conversation on this started with Scott Presler, who has been calling on Senate Majority Leader John Thune to allow a vote every day since January 1st. Earlier this month, Scott joined me here to make his case.
The American people demand Senate Majority Leader John Thune bring a vote on the Safeguard American Voter Eligibility Act, and let's have proof of citizenship to register to vote. We have this one moment in history with Donald Trump at the helm with a trifecta Republican government. I say nuke the gosh darn filibuster, pass law after law after law.
That interview went viral and senators went into action. Senator John Cornyn said he spoke to Leader Thune about the SAVE Act. Senators Katie Britt and Dave McCormick signed on as co-sponsors, and several others like Rick Scott ramped up his support publicly. Here's Senator Scott last week.
However we do this, all right, whether it's part of the spending bill this week, whether it's a separate bill, whether we have to stay there, you know, and do a standing filibuster, whatever it's going to take, we got to get this passed. We've got to secure our elections. I can't imagine a Republican senator that would vote against, you know, making sure that you have to have proof of citizenship to register to vote and to vote. Now, how could anybody, I don't know how a Democrat could be against this.
Yeah. After that interview came an avalanche of support for the SAVE Act. You see it here. The tally now sits at 49 co-sponsors, and Senate Majority Leader John Thune said this week he will allow a vote.
They are still modifying the bill. It includes right now a requirement that you be a citizen to register to vote, but it doesn't include a requirement that to vote you be a resident. That's being fixed and addressed, and I think the new bill that comes out hopefully will deal with that. But, I mean, at some point, we'll have that vote.
They've been sitting on the bill for like a year.
Blackburn, who's a co-sponsor, joins me now. Senator Blackburn, as we look at this, I believe there are either 4 or 5 Republican holdouts, and I'm curious, what's the holdup for some of your Republican colleagues?
Well, I never speak for my colleagues, Kaylee, but I will tell you this. It is important that people be a citizen, that they show proof of citizenship to register and to vote. And in Tennessee, we have been ranked #1 when it comes to safe elections. And we are so proud of our Secretary of State, Trey Hargett, and his team that have been able to put us in that #1 election integrity spot. And when you go to vote in Tennessee, you have to show who you are. These records have to match up. Every state
We've always done
should
that.
be certain that only citizens are voting in their elections.
You know, Senator Blackburn, your
Still
colleague,
we're even
Senator
talking
Scott,
about it,
asked you
man.
about eliminating the filibuster, because we know that there will
I just want to
be
drive
60
people
votes that are
crazy.
going to be needed for this, and there are only 54.
Why else would they do it?
He said that he would be open to maybe a carve-out for specific legislation, maybe attaching it to a spending bill, something, because this is that important. Where do you stand?
And one of the things that we have discussed, and Rick Scott, Senator Scott, leads our conservative group, our steering committee in the Senate. And we have talked about maybe we use it for the appropriations bill so you don't get into these shutdown fights. Maybe we review the 1974 Budget Act so that we go about appropriating differently. But here is the point. What you want to do is remove the ability of the Democrats to eliminate a filibuster and run roughshod, be able to pack the Supreme Court, be able to add D.C. and Puerto
Well, what's
Rico
taking y'all so long? You keep talking about it. You don't do it.
certain that we preserve the integrity of our nation's elections and that we don't federalize elections.
It's like
but
they just
it
want to
is your
like.
state and your local election commissions.
It's like they just want to drive people insane, just like talking about things without actually like following through. It's very strange. Like, why do we keep playing these games? Like I mean, we've been talking about the filibuster since what? I don't know. November, December last year. I mean, I know it's actually been longer than that. If you really go down the line. I don't know. I guess they're just thinking about the consequences of doing that. But, you know, it's like, it's all talk. Like, just, if you guys are serious about anything, then go ahead and do it. You know, and we'll deal with the aftermath after. But, I don't know. I mean, there are obviously some good points of contention for debate. And, yeah, I'm going to let her finish, but I want to move on.
That are still going to be in charge of these. This is all about preserving who we are and what we are as a country, and that premise of one person, one vote.
Yeah, and James Carville has said, hey, if Democrats take power, we are going to eliminate the filibuster and do all of that. You know, Senator Blackburn, I do want to ask you quickly, because we only have a few moments here, but this government shutdown, it seems like it will be resolved come Monday. You guys have done your work in the Senate, and the House seems prepared to do their work.
Indeed, and it is so vitally important that in passing these appropriations bills, Kaylee, we have moved from the Biden COVID-era budget to the Trump Republican budget. And for the first time in decades, we're bending the curve for spending. We're bending it down. That is really a
Does anybody
big
believe
step
that?
to put us on the path to doing more cutting, more elimination.
No,
more
you keep
ripping
taking money out every
the
single
piece,
month.
and really tackling this in the manner
so
that
full of
President
shit.
Donald Trump has set forth. And I think it's a big victory for us that we've been able to get back to regular
Is this
order
over
when
with?
it comes
Like,
to
hurry
the
up.
appropriations process.
Thank you very much, Senator Blackburn.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I don't mean to speak over the video. I'm tired of hearing about certain crap that you know is just not true. I mean, we have like Massey talking about, I mean, this is not the particular thing that, yeah, here it is. 300,000, wait, no, wait. This is actually a bigger number. Okay, so yeah, that's like $3 billion to Israel. I thought it was 3 trillion at first. I had to count the zeros. All right, Thomas Massey says, blocked my amendment to stop the creation of central bank digital currencies. I thought Trump said he was against this and it was already blocked. But here we are with Massey arguing about the same thing. It's just this constant two-faced behavior. You know, we're just opposite behaviors constantly. Two-faced behaviors. Geminis, I like to call them. Joking for all the Geminis that might be watching. I don't know. It's just like, why are we talking about this a year later after Trump said he wasn't going to allow this to occur? And is it just that weird thing that we all have to kind of admit at some point that we might have a wolf in sheep's clothing? He infiltrated us. He spoke to all of our values, and now he's starting to, you know, take off the mask, take off the sheep's wool, and reveal that he is a wolf. I mean, is that what's occurring? I mean, Drogo, I know for a fact, would disagree with me right now, but I'm just kind of like, I'm tired of seeing this constant back and forth. That's what kind of makes me like wonder sometimes, like, are Trump and Massey like secretly working together? And, you know, Trump just likes to play like certain people are his enemies when they're actually his friends, kind of like Elon Musk last year. I don't think it's you know, too much to argue those things. People play games all the time. People will coordinate with each other, especially in politics. You know, they coordinate to vote on certain issues all the time. So playing two-faced in certain situations might actually be a decent thing if they actually are on the same side. But, you know, it doesn't look good for Trump's optics. That's my concern. But it also kind of makes you wonder, like, the whole Dark Knight, I don't know, persona that Trump kind of has sometimes, like, where he'll endorse certain bad people just so they'll lose, I guess, their vote or reputation to a degree. And see, like, it's kind of the opposite with Massey. Massey, he attacks constantly, and it just makes Massey do better in the polls. You see what I'm saying? It almost is like a form of reverse psychology. I'm not saying that's actually what's occurring, but, you know, if you were to think strategically in this whole manner, if Trump is able to appeal to the Israelis by pretending that he's constantly on their side, by, you know, acting as if he's on their side, which is what Drogo believes, by the way. Drogo is that, you know, cute follower that Trump likes to repost quite a bit on Truth Social. People like to forget that fact, that Drogo is a lot more important than I think his popularity on X represents. If Trump is constantly reposting this guy's stuff and it's constantly to do with Q stuff, it kind of makes you wonder a little bit. You know, I'm not trying to make anybody believe in anything they don't want to believe, because, you know, that never works. You never can force anybody to believe anything. But, you know, I do try to entice people to try to rethink maybe their position on certain things and maybe question whether or not some certain things may or may not be true. And, you know, you don't have to believe anything beyond that. You can just entertain a thought or a theory. You don't have to indulge it completely. All right, Israel is draining America, says Earth Hippie. America has spent $8 trillion fighting for Israel. Trump just gave $8.6 billion, followed by another $3.3.
The global war against Israel's enemies cost us $8 trillion. That's why we're bankrupt. Yeah. I mean, here we are at $38 trillion. And Tucker, that's the other amazing part. So now in the last 2 weeks, Trump gave another $8.6 billion, totally unaccounted. Where's that $8.6 billion coming from? Did anybody ever vote for that $8.6 billion? And then unabated, he gave another $3.3 billion. Where is this money coming from? Is anybody voting on this? What is going on?
Well, these are IOUs to countries that are buying our treasuries.
Exactly. So that's the next layer of it. So you're telling us we have to borrow money from China and Japan so we can give money for free to Israel, and then we pay the interest for the rest of our lives, and they don't pay any interest. Well, why don't they borrow it from China and Japan?
Exactly.
If we're being honest, the global war...
Jake, you need to lose weight. Anyways, going the wrong way. Breakdown of what Epstein meant about Goyim.
So not only was Epstein a monster who harmed children, he was also a Jewish supremacist. And his beliefs are not an anomaly. A lot of Jews believe what he did. He liked to point out in the emails the difference between Jews and what he called the Goyim. So his beliefs reflect what many rabbis teach. They teach that the difference between a Jewish and a non-Jewish soul, that there's a greater difference between that than between a human and an animal. And many of the rabbis also teach that the sole purpose for non-Jews to be created was to serve Jews. And I have a chapter in my book about the Jewish supremacist ideology. And I want to read to you what a rabbi taught in a pre-military yeshiva, a religious academy. And this was reported by an Israeli news station. So he called all non-Jews stupid and violent and said it was due to their genetic inferiority. And this is what he taught. The Gentiles will want to be our slaves. Being a slave to a Jew is the best. They're glad to be slaves. They want to be slaves. Instead of just walking the streets, being stupid and violent and harming each other, once they're slaves, their lives can begin to take shape. All around us, we are surrounded by peoples with genetic problems. Ask a simple Arab, where do you want to be? He wants to be under occupation. Why? Because they have genetic problems. And he ended by saying, we believe in racism. There are races in the world and peoples have genetic traits, and that requires us to try to help them because the Jews are a more successful race.
Shut up. All right, I'm done with that. FBI steps up. Assistant Special Agent in charge, John Edwards, just declared they're aggressively pursuing every lead to locate Nancy Guthrie, the 84-year-old mother of Today Show host Savannah Guthrie. So it is her mother. Wow.
Obtaining cell tower information, conducting interviews, and providing any and all investigative support that the Sheriff's Department needs. We're looking at this from every angle, but we need your help. If you live in the area or saw something on Saturday night, the 31st of January, or Sunday morning, the 1st of February, please report it to the Pima County Sheriff's Department or the FBI at 1-800-CALL-FBI. Every lead and tip is important. We are aggressively pursuing and looking into every single one. Again, please help us bring Nancy Guthrie home. Thank you. Obtaining cell tower information, conducting interviews.
What is not in the files? You don't see a smoking gun. What is not in the files? The ball thing, some of these edited photographs, misleading stuff. You know what is in the files? Repeatedly and overtly and constantly? Epstein is always talking about Jews and Goyim. It comes up over and over again. Goyim are ridiculous. Is it going to be all Jews at the party? No, Goyim in abundance, but it's okay. It's smart Goyim. Jews are smart. They move money. Goyim toil with their hands. Goyim are made to serve. This is what is in the files. You know what is not in the files? There's not a lot of talk of the occult. There's not a lot of rituals, not even really strictly speaking pedophilia. That's not really in the files. You know, all this, a lot of the stuff that is being pushed around is fake. I mean, it's literally just fabricated. And it's being exaggerated and embellished. You know what is in the files? That Epstein was a Jew, and he self-identified as a Jew, and he wasn't religious. He didn't keep kosher. He was a complete degenerate hedonist. We don't even know that he was super pro-Israel. At least he didn't talk about it a ton. What we do know about the files is that he was extremely powerful, extremely connected. He knew business leaders. He knew government officials in Israel, in the UK, in the United States. He knew people at J.P. Morgan. He knew people at Yale. He knew people in the cybersecurity industry. He knew people everywhere. He knew Reid Hoffman, Peter Thiel, Mark Andreessen. He knew all these guys, and he was a powerful Jew. He was a Jewish patriot. He had these attitudes about being Jewish. The Jews are better. The Jews work smarter. The Jews are smarter. The Jews get together and they want to be in the club. And the Goyim are stupid and Goyim are taken advantage of. And we don't really like the Goyim, and the Goyim are different than us, and Goyim are subhuman. Now, again, this paints a very, what do we have? Let's work with what we have. This paints a picture. Epstein, knowing what we know about him, let's just tell the story from the beginning. Epstein is somebody who was given $500 million by the Jewish financiers Leon Black at Apollo and Les Wexner at Victoria's Secret. These are both Jewish patriots for Israel. Leon Black and Les Wexner, they were responsible for most of Epstein's fortune. Those two alone accounted for more than $500 million of his net worth. They just gave him that money. They gave him a house. They gave him a jet. They gave him the island. They gave him his fortune. They say that Epstein was just a tax genius. They just say that they liked his personality. That's obviously a cover story. There's a lot of people that are good at taxes. They're not worth $1 billion. You don't give them a house and a plane and an island. And there's a lot of people that are nice guys, funny guys. You don't give them $1 billion. So what is going on there? Well, it's quite obvious. Les Wexner and Leon Black have an inroad with Israel. They are probably Zionim. They are Jewish covert spies working under the IDF. Now, they may not be IDF agents, or rather Mossad agents or Shin Bet agents, but they are accomplices to Israeli intelligence. Israeli intelligence has their number and can call upon them to do things. They're working hand in glove with the Israeli state. They have a relationship with the Israeli state.
Guys, so I'm outside Nancy Guthrie's home. This is her house right here, right outside Tucson, Arizona. This is where she went missing from, Nancy Guthrie, Savannah Guthrie's mom. First thing I noticed coming out here that you don't really get the sense from on TV is just how kind of remote the area is. This is very much not in the city. Everybody lives on, I would say, an acre or more. There's no street lights. I was out here last night. It's really, really dark. So this isn't just like kind of a typical neighborhood. It has a rural vibe. You can see all the mountains there in the background. The latest on the investigation is we have confirmed to the sheriff here that they have found DNA inside the house, but they are getting tested right now. The sheriff has said that he believes Nancy Guthrie was abducted, kidnapped, probably in the middle of the night, based on the timing information that they have, and that this is still all very much an active investigation. There's a news conference coming up in a couple of hours where we're hoping to get some new updates. But again, this is the house right here. Just a terrible, terrible story. So we'll keep you guys posted on any updates, and hopefully we'll learn more here in the next couple of hours.
As I said yesterday, we saw some things at the home that were concerning to us. We believe now, after we've processed that crime scene, that we do in fact have a crime scene, that we do in fact have a crime, and we're asking the community's help. As I said yesterday, we saw some things at the home that were concerning to us. We believe now, after we've processed that crime scene, that we do in fact have a crime scene, that we do in fact have a...
Deputy AG Todd Blanche, registered New York Democrat until 2024, fired Ed Martin on December 31st and effectively shut down the DOJ's Weaponization Working Group office, according to Paul Sperry's DOJ sources. From Publius. Bombshell from Congress just dropped.
There's reportedly an object that is not in this country that is so large it cannot be moved. That they've built an entire building around it. And I think either Greer or another individual has actually mentioned this site, but I'm not going to mention it because it is a classified location. But there is there's reported a really large object, and that's one of the locations that I'm requesting to get to. It's going to involve a lot to make that happen, but that may be the final destination.
Have you been briefed on Savannah Guthrie's mom missing in Arizona?
I think it's terrible.
Would you commit to more federal agents, like helping out on the
Sure,
search or
I
anything
would.
like
I'm going
that?
to call her later on. I think it's a terrible thing. I always got along very good with Savannah. Very unusual situation, but we're going to find out.
Have you heard anything? Have you been briefed on Savannah Guthrie's mom missing in Arizona?
So we got something in our email that looks like it's written like a ransom note for Savannah Guthrie's mother.
Specific.
And they're
Request for
very
certain amounts of money,
very specific.
Bitcoin.
And also they say at the bottom there are certain things they're saying about what she was wearing and damage to the house.
That
as
they're
if
clearly saying to verify that
it's us.
We know what we're talking about.
So we've contacted the sheriff's department, and we want to get them this letter. We had a little trouble getting through to the right person, but the person we spoke with is now forwarding this to somebody in the detective bureau. So if my phone rings, I may have to stop and.
What's interesting is, there was just a news conference that just ended with the sheriff, and he was asked about. And we're going to do this segment in a few minutes, but he was asked about a ransom note, and he just said, "We're following all leads."
Yeah, and it's again, we don't know.
We don't know if
it's
this is
authentic,
legit, right.
if it's authentic or not. But when you read it.
Anyways, Saif al-Islam Gaddafi, son of late Libyan leader Muammar Gaddafi, has been assassinated. So I guess like father, like son. Not cool, bro. By who, though? By Americans or what? Dirty Sanchez is a tyrant and traitor to the peoples of Spain, says Elon Musk. Spanish PM Pedro Sanchez.
Starting next week, my government will
In
implement
English.
the following actions. First, we will change the law in Spain to hold platform executives legally accountable for many infringements taking place on their sites. This means that CEOs of these techno platforms will face criminal liability for failing to remove illegal or hateful content. And for that, we governments need to stop turning a blind eye to the toxic content shared under their watch. Second, we will turn algorithmic manipulation and amplification of illegal content into a new criminal offense. Disinformation doesn't appear by itself. It is created, promoted, and spread by certain actors. We will go after them as well as after the platforms whose algorithms amplify the disinformation for profit.
So basically, anybody that wants to share the news, that's crazy. I mean, I'm not I don't build the algorithms. I don't force people to talk about Jews every single day. And it's like they do it anyways. So it's just kind of crazy that, I'm just literally covering what other people are talking about. And they want to target people just for talking about it, for showing it to other people. Nuts. Sean Ryan says, no, I do not negotiate with pedophiles.
I need to talk to you.
Also, real quick, Elijah Schaefer says, my wife divorced me and took my kids, and I have no idea where they are. I'm sober, I'm sad, I have good support. Thank you for everyone. Thank you for everyone supporting me during this rough season. I'll get through it. Is that a way to make money or what? I don't know. Abby Libby says, these are his deleted posts. I have a horrible suspicion that Elijah Schaefer has killed his family with the gun he claims is stolen. I feel sick. Tell me I'm reading this wrong. I don't know if this is true or not, so I'm not gonna spread it if it's not verified. I don't know, I saw it in the same reel, like right next to this post. But that seems like I don't know, very speculative, and I have no clue. So, not gonna go there. Alright, we already covered that video. FBI official just escorted out of building after O'Keefe sting. We'll get to that in just a second. I'll cover a little bit of this. I'm not going to cover the whole video.
About something serious. Last week, I received a demand letter from lawyers representing Kanakuk Ministries, a Christian summer camp in Missouri. They're threatening to sue me for defamation because of something I said on my podcast with Congressman Ro Khanna. Here's what I said. I brought Elizabeth Phillips on my show, and she talked about how Kanakuk employees have been molesting thousands of kids for years and putting them under NDAs after settlements so they can never come out and talk about their sexual abuse and trauma. Kanakuk's lawyers are demanding I take down that portion of the interview, issue a public apology, and stop talking about this. They gave me 10 days. That deadline has passed. Here's my response. No, I don't negotiate with pedophiles or the people who defend them. I'm not taking anything down. I'm not apologizing, and I'm damn sure not going to stop talking about child sexual abuse at a Christian camp that continues to operate on the same grounds where horrific abuse took place. Let me be crystal clear about the facts. Facts that Kanakuk's own lawyers admitted in their letter. 1. Pete Newman, a senior Kanakuk employee and camp director, sexually abused children at Kanakuk for multiple years in the early 2000s. He's now serving life sentences. 2. Between 20 and 30 civil lawsuits were filed against Kanakuk. 3. Multiple confidential settlement agreements were executed with victims, NDAs that prevented these kids from speaking publicly about what happened to them. Kanakuk can't prove the number is less than thousands, and given their own admission of a cover-up, the true number is unknowable. But here's what really pisses me the fuck off. Kanakuk is still operating a camp at the very location where countless children suffered horrific abuse. They're still running programs. They're still bringing kids to the exact same place. And now they want to silence me for talking about it. This isn't about protecting their reputation. This is about protecting children, and I will not be silenced. My attorney has sent Kanakuk's lawyers a response. We've made it clear. If they want to sue me, bring it on.
All right, I'm going to leave it right there. Let's go back to this other video with O'Keefe.
You're just like a diva.
I'm going to start this game here soon.
110% he's a diva. Are you serious? 110%. He's lazy. No, he's not good at his job.
I've said that if arrests do not happen, if people are not held to account, then we'll have no choice but to investigate the investigators themselves.
I am a security specialist at the FBI, so I do background checks, investigations, that type of stuff. I've been working there for 5 years now.
On hidden camera, this FBI security specialist tells us the quiet part out loud.
I don't think there's going to be any major arrests with Cash Patel or the FBI. No. Also, I don't think anybody would ever go to prison.
Now, thanks to the brave work of citizen journalists like Nick Shirley, Americans were able to see what actually happens in Minnesota outside these daycare centers.
Do you think they're going to arrest the people that are dealing with the daycare stuff? I think by the time that case is done, even being looked at, being ready to go to court, Trump won't even be in office anymore. It would most likely be thrown out very quickly. Fraud cases like that, money stuff, years, literal years of time. They're going to try and pin it on somebody. I think you're badass. Thank you. Cheers.
James O'Keefe here reporting from Los Angeles, downtown in front of City Hall. They're having all the protests against ICE. They're yelling quite loud. How are you? What's that? I am. Telling the truth. Yeah. She's yelling at us. She's saying that we're telling lies. And over the last few months, I've said that if arrests do not happen, if people are not held to account, then we'll have no choice but to investigate the investigators themselves, investigate the prosecutors themselves at every level. We understand that incentives govern human behavior more than virtue does, and people are demanding that people be held accountable. People are reminding you that we're a nation of laws. But that only works if the people in government, if the people in power do the right thing. So now the question is, what will it take to get accountability and arrests? And we believe that what it will take is oversight, watching the watchmen, or in Latin, custodiae ipsos custodes, who guards the guardsmen. Where is the Department of Justice? Where is the federal government? And why aren't they doing their jobs? What is actually going on in the nation's capital? We decided to take a look. Now there's what they say on the record, and there's what they say when no one is looking. Our investigation led us to an FBI security specialist who, on hidden camera, this FBI security specialist tells us the quiet part out loud. And as I do this report, the protesters are filtering into Los Angeles, one of them yelling at me to stop lying. I question any of them to actually tell me what I am lying about. We literally see their lips moving in our undercover reports.
I am a security specialist at the FBI. I've been working there for 5 years now. I was under Biden first.
Now, when you watch this man is either a Biden holdover speaking out of turn, or he is telling the truth, describing a system that walks out investigations for years past the point where the president is in power. What this official inside the FBI says is very troubling and potentially revealing about how the Department of Justice actually operates. People are more honest when they don't know they're being recorded. And that's not all. This same FBI official we caught on tape admits that even under Kash Patel, there will be no arrests of people in the deep state in the near future. Not exactly surprising considering the lack of action we've seen so far.
Do you think, like, your job, like the FBI, do you think they're going to arrest the people, like, that are dealing with the daycare stuff?
The thing with those cases is that I think by the time that case is done, even being, like, looked at, being ready to go to court, Trump won't even be in office anymore.
Really?
Fraud cases like that, like money stuff,
yeah,
years, literal years of time.
You don't think the FBI would arrest them, even though Trump would be like, please arrest them?
I don't think so, because over and over and over again, it's been shown it doesn't work. It's not working. Also, I don't think anybody would ever go to prison. Like, they would most likely be thrown out very quickly.
Now, thanks to the brave work of citizen journalists like Nick Shirley, Americans were able to see what actually happens in Minnesota outside these daycare centers. Now, according to this FBI official, he's saying that accountability and justice is not coming. Why? He says the FBI and the Department of Justice walk these investigations out. They actually might take years, literal years, like 5 years. And by that time, the executive branch of government shifts power, the pendulum swings, and the people are never held to account.
They're going to try and pin it on somebody and make it seem like a crime, like a very serious crime.
Pin it on somebody?
Pin it on one of those people who runs those daycares.
Oh.
They need somebody to take the fall.
Oh, okay.
And we're just gonna point somebody.
Who that would be?
No idea.
But that's what they.
Yep, it's called Slow Walking Cases and The Fall Guy. Just to sum that up, but I covered 5 minutes of that video. It's a 13-minute long video. If you want to go watch the rest of it, it's from James O'Keefe. Eric Doherty says, by a stroke of pen, President Trump signs $1.2 trillion spending package to reopen the U.S. federal government. Epstein said, whoops, after finding out RFK Jr.'s wife was found dead hanging. President Trump has chosen Tulsi Gabbard to oversee voter fraud and election security.
Tulsi Gabbard has been tapped by the President of the United States to oversee the sanctity and the security of our American elections. She's working directly alongside the FBI Director, Kash Patel. This is a coordinated whole-of-government effort to ensure that our elections, again, are fair and transparent moving forward. I don't see anything wrong with the President tasking a cabinet member to pursue an issue that most people want to see solved. Maybe maybe you don't, but I know many Americans do want to make sure our elections are protected, and that's what Tulsi Gabbard is focused on doing.
The emails in the files suggest that Bill Gates had additional affairs and that he tried to get medication to treat a sexually transmitted infection, and that he was going to give you the medicine without you knowing. His representative has said all of this is false. It is not on you to have to respond to the details of that alleged behavior, but I wonder what your dominant emotion is when you read these news articles with these details.
Sad. Just unbelievable sadness. Unbelievable sadness, right? And again, I'm able to take my own sadness and look at those young girls and say, my God, how did that happen to those girls, right? And so for me, it's just sadness for, you know, I left my marriage. I had to leave my marriage. I wanted to leave my marriage. I had to leave I felt I needed to eventually leave the foundation. So it's just sad. That's the truth, right? And it's kind of like, at least for me, I've been able to move on in life.
Okay, I'm going to finish up with these last few little stories here and be done with this. We'll jump straight into the game. North Korean experts claim extreme torture would be needed to uncover the full truth about Epstein through Ghislaine Maxwell. I don't know why that's news, but whatever. Drogo says Epstein represented the Rothschilds, the same Rothschild mafia that founded Israel. Every conspiracy theory was true. And a little bit of good news to finish up with. Major builders said to weigh plan for 1 million Trump homes from Bloomberg. Builders are working on a plan for a massive program to develop Trump homes that would address the U.S. affordability crisis while allowing private capital to deploy many billions of dollars. Leonard Corp and Taylor Morrison Home Corp are among the firms that have worked on the proposal, which calls for builders to sell entry-level homes into a pathway to ownership program funded by private investors, according to people familiar with the plan. I would just ask if you actually own the land or not. You know, you might just own the home and then maybe this corporation owns the actual land. That's what I would be concerned with whenever it comes to things like this. Plus, it does seem type of... I don't know, it kind of seems like government homes. Are they not? I don't know. Either way, I'm done with the news for today. Epic new ODNI cover photo. Nothing can stop what is coming. So I guess we got Tulsi Gabbard. Anyways, let's start this game, y'all. Notice things run a little bit smoother if I take that scrolling crap off the screen. Controller plugged in real quick. We need some music tonight, don't we? Can't have it all quiet and crap. That's too loud. I want to hear them speak too.
Batman? That had better be you. You had better be sorry.
Keep still. Are you okay?
Perfect. What little girl doesn't dream of being bait for her strapping Dark Knight?
We're leaving.
You might be, but I'm not.
Ah! Both contestants are finally here. Tonight, folks, we've got riddles galore. But first, let me introduce my beautiful assistant. I'm growing tired of my dependence upon the least useless dregs I can scrape from Gotham's utterly uninspired underbelly. Why rely on others for help when you can design, program, engineer, and manufacture it yourself?
Be my guest.
What a pair you make. Together, you're just competent enough to survive. Enjoy it, my little lad on the Dark Knight. I have more in store for you than hitting things. No doubt you enjoyed that, Detective. It's the most fun you'll have all night. You see, Dark Knight, this might be below your feline, fitted with a shiny new collar. With each challenge you complete, you'll get one little key. Collect every key and the kitty goes free. Remove it too soon and the kitty goes boom! Well, don't just stand there, Dark Knight. Take that rocket-fueled roadster of yours and make your way to the Cauldron Train Yard. My first test is waiting.
I'll be back soon.
You'll be back right away. Guys like Eddie let me be until I started playing nice with the bat. Don't keep me waiting.
Sir, I've regained control of the bridges. Good work. I'll contact you when I'm in position at Mercy Bridge.
Well, Batman, old boy, this is quite the dilemma, isn't it? Do you save the incompetent friend who got herself kidnapped, or the incompetent friend who got herself kidnapped? Personally, I go see Eddie's latest contrived death gauntlet. I'm sure he went to a lot of trouble.
I need to go back to the bridge to bring the Batmobile onto Miyagani Island.
Half of her already.
challenge in the Cauldron Train Yard. Fine, big bud. I'll play your games and I'll win. Selena's life depends on it. Tell me what you know.
All right, I'll talk. Just don't hurt me.
Good.
Be ready, Dark Knight. There's more to this test than just going vroom, vroom. really fast.
Oh shit. I wasn't paying attention.
Tick-tock, detective, tick-tock.
Oh shit, no!
Careful, Dark Knight. That car has some value, even if you don't.
That's what I was missing, okay. How do I get over that? Damn. Just sucking it up tonight.
Ramshackle motor handles this. Dark Knight, don't waste my time. It's several times more precious than yours.
I'm disabling the afterburner's failsafe. I need the extra speed.
Altering synapses keep up with my automatically adjusting course.
Oh shit.
I'm shocked, Dark Knight.
Yeah, dude.
Is that really as fast as it goes?
I can do this.
Oh, you incompetent boy racer. Once more onto the track, Dark Knight. Once more. Now pay attention, detective. Go left.
What the fuck? Oh shit.
Oh, detective, what's that I hear? Is it time's winged chariot hurrying near? You're close, detective. Don't fumble now. Fumble now.
No, I didn't too soon.
Right. Solid objects? It's really basic physics. Hurry up, detective. You stand marginally more of a chance of succeeding if you actually begin.
Can I do it again? That's kind of fun.
Relax, Dark Knight. The ordeal is over. Such a pity the laws of physics prohibit me from testing my non-Euclidean designs.
I want to do it
Now,
again.
Detective, hop on the pressure pad beside me.
Huh?
Listen carefully, Dark Knight. Your friend's life depends on it. Back in the orphanage, a series of glass cabinets have appeared in front of Catwoman. Isn't that right, my dear?
I see them, Eddie.
Good. One of those cabinets, my dear, has your first key inside. The others, they contain less useful keys. Keys that will unlock the admittedly slight...
Okay, Batman. Let's see if you're as smart as they say.
Well done, Dark Knight. Feel free to collect her prize.
Okay, I picked the wrong one way too soon. Don't trust me with a explosive neck bracelet. Can I? No, I want to redo this part.
Such a pity the laws of physics prohibit me from testing my non-Euclidean designs. Now then, detective, hop on the pressure pad beside me. Listen carefully, Dark Knight. Your friend's life depends on it. Back in the orphanage, a series of glass cabinets have appeared in front of Catwoman. Isn't that right, my dear?
I see them, Eddie.
Good. One of those cabinets, my dear, has your first key inside. The others, they contain less useful keys. Keys that will unlock the admittedly slight contents of your skull all over the orphanage walls. Your job, detective, is simple. Figure out which cabinet Catwoman must open. And don't get it wrong.
So most of them will kill me. One of them won't. Great. Do this.
Do you think he's smart enough, Cat? Can you work it out, Batman?
Okay, Batman. Let's see if you're as smart as I say. One down.
Well done to the pair of you. That's the first key collected. Don't expect to be sinking your claws into too many more. Or too many more. Did you really believe that a challenge designed by me, the Riddler, would be quite so easy? Oh, Dark Knight, you sweet, naive sentinel, of course it wouldn't. But now I have several hundred terabytes of performance data relating to the latest model of rocket-powered hearse you're driving. With that in mind, I have prepared for you something a little less knuckle-whitening and rather more brow-furrowing in Chinatown. Hurry on over, detective, or it won't be curiosity that kills the cat.
Right, sir. Connection established. As expected, sir, a small drone force has been deployed to stop you. Lost the Rattler. Rattler's hit. It's still operational. Batman took out a drone. It's okay. Rattler's been hit. Target hit. Drone feed offline. Batman's taken out a Rattler.
Ow.
We lost one, sir. He's making you look like a fool. Damn it. Rattler's taking damage. I can take the bomb. Payload is in.
Uncle talks in circles about the good old days gone wrong.
I can use the power winch to trigger a controlled explosion.
We're a choir of cracked bells ringing out of tune. Somehow the harmony still pulls me to the room. Love's a stubborn thing that don't ask permission. It just keeps on beating with reckless precision. I wish we'd had more understanding. I wish we had more grace to give. But I love you, family, anyway. Through every scar and every fray, I'll carry the hurt, I'll carry the blame. Still I'd stand in the fire to keep you from flames. God knows we're broken,
Mercy Bridge to pick up the trail of the Arkham Knight's vehicle.
Miss Gordon, safety is on all of our minds, sir. Good luck.
Alfred, I'm at the bridge.
One moment, sir. I should probably warn you there's a significant militia presence ahead.
Duly noted.
I managed to access the files Miss Gordon was working on before her abduction. It would seem she found a weakness in the drones. The direct hit from the Vulcan gun on this sensor array should destroy them with a single shot.
But Sergeant, Mercy Bridge is being lowered. He's coming. Mom and Rolls online and ready to engage. Alpha target flank. Rattler down. Got him.
Oh, that's how I get it. Okay.
Arkham Knight, come in. Defense is breached. He's moving onto Miyagani Island.
Not now, Sergeant. Establish roadblocks. Lock the island down.
Are you scared, petty criminals of Gotham? Of the tanks rolling across the road?
Where's the want me to go? Where's it on the map?
The armed men patrolling your street. Be calm. They're not hurting you.
Nice driving, idiot. He's right there. Just go. You want to take... He's on our tail. Outrun that thing. Come on, lose it.
Hold on, I lost it.
Back up. He's gonna get us. No chance.
Oops. That's what I'm looking for. Where'd he go? Is it taking me back to the bridge again? I did track it.
It's the bat. Try.
What does it want me to do? I guess it wants me to stay in this mode.
Guardian, Batman, a protector. Yet you cannot even guard your friends.
It's him. Don't worry, he ain't catching us.
I'm not sure what it wants me to find. Oops. Is the game glitched or something? Seems like it just goes in a circle. Damn.
Batman's taken out a drone. Alpha target spotted. Northern sector, Miyagani Island. Drone offline.
The Arkham Knight's vehicle swerved and crashed up ahead. Car's empty. The Arkham Knight must have taken Oracle and moved on. I should examine the vehicle more closely. The car veered off an empty road. Looks like the driver wasn't wearing a seatbelt. I should find the body. Traces of pepper spray on the right side of the driver's face. Oracle must have been in the passenger seat and deliberately caused the crash. Clever. I should check the area where she was sitting. The door was torn off during the crash. If I can find where it came to rest, I can determine exactly what happened. torn cleanly off the hinges. The door must have been opened before the crash. Oracle got out. I need to examine the reconstruction, pinpoint where she landed. Oracle got free of the vehicle before the crash.
He's smart. Just like I trained her.
Oracle stopped here. Someone took a shot at her. I should analyze the point of impact for ballistic evidence. The caliber of the weapon is a match for the Arkham Knight sidearm. The trajectory and impact velocity points to a shooter that matches his height. At this range, he couldn't have missed. A warning shot. Oracle knew she couldn't escape, but she caused this crash for a reason. She must have left a clue while crawling away. Lucius, Oracle left me the Scrambler device at the scene of the crash. Decrypt the data so I can pinpoint the Arkham Knight's location.
This kind of thing was more Miss Gordon's specialty. I'll see what I can do, but it'll take me a little while.
I'll meet you at Wayne Tower when you're ready. Alfred, give me an update on Gotham's Most Wanted.
One moment, sir. Right, these two are just in. A mysterious hooded figure has
They made Alfred look like shit.
He appears to be standing beside a burning bat symbol, sir. It might be wise to establish whether this interloper is friend or foe. Reports are also coming in of a blaze at the Bristol fire station. One suspects arson, sir, as the power to the building has been cut, disabling the fire suppression system. You may wish to investigate.
Someone's lit a burning bat symbol on the Gamby store rooftop. A beacon or a threat. Time to find out.
trust you have not forgotten me, Batman.
Azrael.
Dark days are here, Batman. The prophecy has come true. From the ashes of Arkham City, the fires are raging, and Gotham is burning.
What do you want?
I can see that same fire in your eyes. Before this night is through, that fire will consume you. Gotham will need a new savior, a new guardian, a new Batman.
I'm not finished just yet.
You cannot carry this burden forever. I have studied you for a long time. You have a code. You will not kill. Then neither shall I. The Order has succeeded. The time has come to pass the mantle to another warrior. To me.
If you can prove your abilities, when the time is right, I'll consider it. But first, you must show you are worthy.
As you wish.
Complete the challenge without getting hit to prove you are worthy. We go again.
I'm gonna thirst start already.
I have failed you.
Again.
Damn it. Did I press B for that? I think I do.
One more time.
Got him.
You're stronger than I thought. Signal me when you're ready to be challenged again.
Hell yeah.
Sir, I've captured Azrael's performance.
Good work, Alfred. Run the usual physiological tests.
Then am I to understand you're considering him as your successor?
None of us know what will happen after that. I'll be in touch. Someone killed, mutilated, and posed a body on Merchant Bridge. If I'm going to stop them,
Whoa!
crime scene for clues.
Holy shit. That scared the fuck out of me. That was so random. Oh my god. Do I need to follow him? That dude behind me somewhere? I can hear him screaming.
Alfred, I found the mutilated body Cash was talking about. I'm going to try and establish a cause of death. Blood tests reveal the cause of death was an overdose of painkillers leading to cardiac arrest. Also, the victim's fingerprints have been burned off with acid.
A rather unsavory demise.
That's not all. It's as though the subject's DNA has been corrupted somehow. There's insufficient information for me to cross-reference the database. I'll have to use the deep tissue scanner to analyze the body for distinguishing features and determine the victim's identity.
Right you are, sir.
Deformity on the left ear. Looks like a result of minor ear agenesis, a birth defect.
Am I supposed to scan? Is that it? Oh no, that's what I'm supposed to scan. Oh. I just now saw that.
A wedding ring in the lower intestine. The inscription reads, Ophelia.
Did I? Everything?
The victim had a hip replacement. Scar tissue hasn't fully healed, so it must have been recent. Alfred, the victim's name is Anthony Lund. Hospital records show he suffered with alcoholism, most probably brought on by the breakdown of his marriage. The name on the ring, Ophelia, his ex-wife. He was last seen in Albuquerque, New Mexico. What's unusual is that they didn't go missing in Gotham. They were brought here and killed. Why? We need to track down whoever did this.
Might I suggest keeping an ear out for any more of that ghastly opera music? It sounds ominously like a calling card.
The bat creature's still at large on Miyagani Island. I'm going to hunt it down and take a blood sample, determine who or what it is.
Oops. I hear him, but I don't see him. Oh, I see him now.
Batman, it has not escaped my notice that you have failed to arrive at my challenge in Chinatown. Hurry along, detective. I like to avoid winning by default whenever possible. D-boy.
Alfred, run analysis on the blood sample I just uploaded.
Right you are, Master Bruce. I'm searching for possible matches now. How you managed to get this sample is beyond me, sir. Here we are. The blood is heavily mutated, but we have a partial match, a Dr. Kirk Langstrom.
Search for any properties in Gotham owned or leased by Dr. Langstrom.
Certainly. Let me see. He He and his wife lease a basement laboratory in Chinatown. I'm sending you the address.
Confused.
Alpha targets in a drone. He's crushing the car! Why are you doing this? You don't ask the questions here, punk. How about we state the villains together? You like that? Just whatever. I want you silent. Accept your fucking is. I don't want to hear you cry. It makes it... more enjoyable. It's like music to my ears. Like the fight.
There's a button.
So proud of you, honey. Go on. Tell them what you've done.
No, that's...
Go on. Just be yourself.
Okay. Full genetic resplicing was a success. The recombinant molecule...
Honey, you're doing it again. How about in English?
Yes, of course. Sorry. So, what we've done is merge the DNA of this modus rotundus, the vampire bat, into the human chain. This breakthrough could, it will, prevent and cure deafness in all humanity. How's that?
Perfect, sweetie.
How are you getting this, honey?
I think so. Is the red light on?
I'm trying to do the song. I like this song. We're gonna keep it on this one.
There's a computer. Maybe it contains some answers.
Where?
This computer stores all of Dr. Langstrom's research. Mixing his DNA with a vampire bat? That was never going to end well. If I search through his files, I may be able to create an antidote to his condition. I need to isolate the man-bat's signature and remove it from Langstrom's DNA. That's it. I've created a clean DNA sample. Now all I need to do is make him take his medicine. Alfred, I've synthesized a cure in Langstrom's lab. Now I just need to find him.
Any idea where he may be hiding?
He's not in control of his actions. He could be anywhere.
No one knows this city better than you, Master Bruce. You'll find him.
Out in the dust, where the balefires burn, idols of stone and the altars of mortar. Jesus walked in with a whip made of words, drove out the money men, overturned their hordes. My house is for prayer, he thundered like flame, but the priests of the temple just spelled his name. They wore the robes, kept the scrolls, claimed the line, yet their hearts bowed to Baal and drank sacrificial
His wife? Your parents? What is it about dead relatives that turns you into a giant rodent?
I'm heading to Wayne Tower. If we can decrypt the Arkham Knight security protocol, we should be able to track his location.
If he thinks he can hide from you, sir, he's in for something of a surprise. No, I don't think I've ever killed a firefighter before. Really? Yeah, with cops, paramedics, Coast Guard, traffic wardens, pest control, but never firefighters. Tonight's a special night for you, man. You guys are crazy. He can't help it. When he starts collecting, he has to get the
Madonna.
Nice of you to drop in, Mr. Wayne. I suppose you weren't really dressed for the front entrance.
Have you finished the decryption?
Fully decoded. I've downloaded all recent militia radio transmissions and their corresponding coordinates to your machine.
Thanks, Lucius. I can scan the network for the Arkham Knight's voice print and determine the location of his last broadcast. It's a bad idea to walk out in the batsuit while Lucius's PA is still here.
Am I done?
You know, if I'd ever been curious about your identity, I would have torn off that mask years ago. I always figured the truth would be a letdown. But I have to admit, masquerading as Gotham's least interesting socialite is one hell of a cover story.
You had to go and spoil the surprise. I was hoping to keep her under wraps until she's ready. Next generation disruptor. She's still a couple of weeks from completion, but I figured you'd appreciate a working prototype. I should have her with you later on this evening.
Thanks, Lucius. I think I might need it.
It took a while to source the improved components. You're lucky I don't charge overtime.
Identity confirmed. Good evening, Mr. Wayne. Upload waveform for analysis.
Tonight.
Scanning communications for voice print match. Location verified.
Got it. The Knight's transmitting from the Miyagani tunnel network.
Glad to be of assistance, Mr. Wayne. But while you're here, we've been working on some further upgrades for your car. Let me know where you'd like us to focus our efforts. An upgrade to your weapons generator will let you overcharge the Batmobile's secondary weapon. You'll be a force to be reckoned. Your life is. Wrote it myself when I saw what you were up against this evening. The drone virus hijacks the militia tank's weapon systems and causes them to target their allies. I'll be in touch as soon as it's ready. Now, if there's anything else you need, I'll be here all night. It's not like I could leave this city even if I wanted to.
Bruce? It's Vicky. Are you there? I know you're listening to these messages. Look, Stop that article, blame Ryder. I had nothing to do with it, I swear. Call me, okay? And then you
Take care, Mr. Wayne. Alfred, I've traced the Arkham Knight to the Miyagani tunnel system.
Excellent news, sir. But I'm detecting a significant drone presence in the area. It would be folly to engage them without the Batmobile.
Noted.
Shall I open the south entrance?
Hold off until I get there, Alfred. I don't want to spoil the surprise.
You've got contact. Heavy contact. Outside the tunnel. Suggest immediate exfil, sir.
I know. It just now showed up. I was like, where's the fucking Batmobile? I didn't realize for them to be all there at the same time. I was just going towards the destination. Shut up and let me respond. I didn't know I could level up. No, I can't. Liar.
Take care, Mr. Wayne. Know where to find me. Alfred, I've traced the Arkham Knight to the Miyagani tunnel system.
Excellent news, sir. But I'm detecting a significant drone presence in the area. It would be folly to engage them without the Batmobile.
Noted.
Shall I open the south entrance?
Hold off until I get there, Alfred. I don't want to spoil the surprise.
You've got contact. Heavy contact. Outside the tunnel. Suggest immediate exfil, sir. Now! I've lost the drone. Confirmed hit. Drone's been hit. It's still in the fight. Drone's been hit. Direct hit on a Rattler. You got a drone. No! Drone holding position. Under fire.
I keep missing it.
Status update. Entrance armor disabled.
I don't know why I wanted to do that, but it felt right. I'm not going right now.
Alfred, I'm at the tunnel entrance. Open the doors.
Just a moment, sir. I'm accessing the building's security mainframe.
Alfred, there's another blast door. I need you to open it.
Okay. It seems they've locked me out of the system. They must know you're here.
Don't worry, Alfred. I'll find another way in. Have you made any progress on the cure?
Getting there. Hey, I haven't heard from Barbara for a while. Is she okay?
She's fine. She's working on something for me. It's important.
But she's safe, right?
Don't worry, Tim. Just keep working on that cure.
Shut up, Tim. She's my girlfriend.
How very mean of you. Now I can see why you didn't tell him after old Jimbo's terrible overreaction. Still, if you cared about Barbara the way that little sidekick of yours does, maybe she wouldn't have got kidnapped in the first place. They're star-crossed, Patsy. Like me. Okay. Being torn apart thanks to your crusade. So let's recap. Barbara's kidnapped, and let's face it, probably dead. You're lying to Loverboy Wonder about it, and dear old Jim's marched off on his lonesome to save the day. Not your... Stay at the office, Pat. Something on your mind? Come on, let Robin out of his cage. You can't force him to slave over your cure.
Oh, I doubt that. Hold up. There it is, okay.
Laugh if he gets himself killed out there. Won't have to tell him about Barbara. It's win-win. You think he's really gonna fix your nasty case of Jokeritis? Not a chance. I'm chronic, Cruzy. I'm lingering. We both know there's no cure for me. Can you remember when it was simple? Back in the old days, it was just you, me, a regular war against crime. But take a look, Max. Things change. Now it's just war, with you standing right bang in the center. Of course, like with any war, there are casualties.
What am I looking for?
Unavoidable. Like death. Well, maybe not death. I see you sidestep that. Still, not all of us are so lucky.
Just a second, y'all.
Talia. Of course you do. How could you forget a girl like that? All it took was one piece of lead to end your hopes of a happily ever after. You blamed me, of course, but you were wrong. You put her in my crosshairs, Bats. Sure, she didn't do herself any favors, but it was you. You see, people trust you. They believe in you. They follow you into your war, and you are about to get them all killed.
I tried pressing the counter button, it wouldn't do it.
Better not be dying, Bruce.
Shut up. Get to the next screen. Hold up.
That guy doesn't know you very well now, does he? I think you're trapped down here. What kind of supervillain thinks a bullet... Stop it. And a handful of tanks will stop the Batman.
Alpha target just hit a Diamondback. Armor breached. Batman just took out a Diamondback.
Time to rescue Oracle and make the Arkham Knight pay.
I see you're back in the car, Master Bruce.
I'm going after the Knight. He's here in the tunnel.
Then let us hope he has Miss Gordon with him.
Come on, getting through this.
He knows where she is, Alfred. He's not getting away.
Opening fire! That car's gonna smash us to pieces! Ready? Stop him! Light him up! Fire! I won't fail you, Stark! He's mine! Under heavy fire! Got another one! I'm getting hit! No, no, no! I'm taking enemy fire! He's still hooked up! The APC will take another strike! APC is down. I say again, the APC is down. All support units to fall back immediately. All units come in. I need immediate evac. Support, do you read me? How does it feel to be chasing the wrong man? Where is the Arkham Knight? You won't find it! You think I didn't know you were tracking my broadcast location? Here's a lesson, Batman. I know how you think, which means I know how to think. Where is he? With Barbara Gordon. She's ours now. Can you imagine what the Knight's going to do to her? What are you doing? No! You can't do this! is he?
He's gone to see the little man, the penguin. He supplied the safe houses for the attack. The Knight's gone to pay him for his services. That's it. That's all I know. No more!
Remember something else?
He uses a refrigeration company as a front. The trucks distribute weapons throughout the city.
What's it called?
North Refrigeration.
Thank you.
Alfred, I need you to find out everything you can about North Refrigeration.
Of course. May I inquire why?
Penguin's supplying arms to the Arkham Knight, and right now, he's the best lead we have to finding Barbara.
I'll look into it right away, sir. I can see Mr. Fox is trying to contact you.
Lucius.
Mr. Wayne, your new Batmobile upgrade is ready to deploy. The Batwing is en route to Grand Avenue.
Sir, I've discovered an exploit the Arkham Knight was using to broadcast via your gauntlet. Rest assured that all our communications are securely encrypted. Should I lock him out to prevent further disruption?
Keep the channel open, Alfred. The more he talks, the more I know about him.
Very well, sir.
Sir, we just tracked a fast-moving aircraft heading in on Grand Avenue. This thing just pulled a J-turn clocking in at 12 Gs. I don't know anything that can do that. I do. Show him what it means to go to war.
The drone virus overrides the friend or foe identification system of militia drones. An infected drone will target other drones instead of the Batmobile. When deployed at higher weapon energy levels, this will infect multiple targets.
Sir, I've lost control of the drone. He's overriding my control protocols. Send units to intercept. Now! Confirmed strike on target. Rattler offline. Rattler hacked. Batman took out a drone. Make him pay. Diamondback offline. You're starting to see it, aren't you? Not for once, you can't keep up. Mamba down. He just took out the drone unit in Grand Avenue.
Sir, I've been looking into North Refrigeration as you requested. It seems Master Grayson has been investigating them for some time.
Good. Tell him to send me what he has.
He insisted on seeing you in person, sir. He's on his way from Bloodhaven with the pertinent information. He'll meet you on a rooftop overlooking the Ranelagh Ferry Terminal.
Thanks, Alfred.
In the meantime, sir, scans have established that the Arkham Knight has mobilized his senior lieutenants in armored personnel carriers throughout the city. We currently have a lock on one such vehicle. Should you wish to intervene and remove them from the battle?
Let's see what Nightwing's got on North Refrigeration. If I find Penguin, I'll find the Arkham Knight.
Indeed, sir. Master Grayson confirmed he'll meet you on the building overlooking the Ranelagh Ferry Terminal.
Who's it at? Oh, I went past it.
Still lurking around on Bruce.
You shouldn't have come here. Not tonight.
Kidding me. When I heard about Barb,
North Refrigeration. Tell me what you know.
Penguin's using freezer trucks to smuggle weapons out of Woody. I think he's stockpiling arms right here in Gotham. The question is where.
Cobblepot's the best lead we have on Barbara. I need to find that weapons cache. If I can intercept one of his trucks, it'll lead me right to it.
Only you knew someone who's been tracking their movements. What? You didn't really think I'd come here without a plan, did you?
I'll handle this. You're needed back in Bloodhaven.
Come on, Bruce. Let me help. You can't do it all on your own.
It's too dangerous. I won't risk losing anyone else. Bloodhaven needs me.
All right. I can take a hint. But if you want to keep tabs on that truck, you're gonna need this. It's a prototype straight out of R&D. The old Fox sits up there. See you around, Bruce.
I can disable enemy weapons using disruptors. Taj ammo. I've only got 3 shots. I should pick my targets wisely.
Hatch, the guns are paid for. Why so suspicious? Don't you like free guns? You look like the guy who killed my brother. And you look like the person...
That disabled the firearm. If I use the disruptor again, it will explode when fired, knocking out the user and flooring anyone nearby.
We're now friends. What's it like working for dead? Like I'm gonna tell you. What's wrong with you? We're all working for these freaks. How about I go first? I remember when Penguin hired us. He came up to the chapter and offered us a crap load of cash to work for him. Seemed like a nice guy. Really? No, he's a freaking maniac. Always ranting about one to get what he is or take it.
Equipment sabotaged. Time to introduce myself.
Oh, what happened anyway? Some dude smashed it on the table and ground it into his damn face. Never seen anything like it. Jeez. Look out! Batman's here! Grab a gun! What's wrong with this stupid gun? It's over for you, Batman. You don't stand
Let's see. A truck full of weapons and explosives. I can use the disruptor's tracker ammo to tag the vehicle and follow it across Gotham.
How do I get more tracker ammo?
Now I just need to give them a little motivation to lead me back to their hideout.
What did you forget?
Subtlety works. If they hear the car, they'll be spooked. I need to follow them from the vehicle. If they hear the car, they'll be spooked. I need to follow them from the rooftops, moving out of sight.
Are you stupid? That'll lead him right back to Cobblepot. So what do? Just keep driving. Maybe we can lose him. Can you see him? I'm driving here. Okay, I can't see him. You think we lost him? How do I know? Keep looking. We gotta be sure before we head back. How come we got stuck out here with the bat?
tried, but we scared him off.
Yeah, right. Get your ass in there. The boss wants to talk. He said don't be late.
The roof is heavily protected. This must be Penguin's hideout. This must be the entrance, but I need to secure the area first.
What? I know it.
I've been waiting all night for this.
Really? I was kinda happy with the way things were going.
I'm gonna finish what the night started. You hear me, freak?
We need to warn Penguin. There's no time. Just watch yourself. We ain't screwing this up.
He went up there! Shoot!
Oh, there's another turret.
The area is secured. Time to pay Cobblepot a visit.
How do I get in there?
Come on, do something. You're making me look. What do we do about the man? Batman. Don't worry about Batman. He's about to become extinct. Gotham is nothing. See, I told you. Don't need to keep up with you. He's overrated. This is gonna be great. He doesn't even know you're here. Come on. We've been working with the other freaks to take down the Bat. Together.
The Arkham Knight, Barbara Gordon. Tell me where they are.
So that's who we had. The commissioner's little girl.
I'll break every bone in your body, Cobblepot.
They were going to see some geezer called Simon Stagg. Think you run a pharmaceutical company or something.
Do not lie to me.
I'm not. I swear. He said he's about to leave Gotham. And those airships over the West River, it belonged to him. Put him down. We'll shoot back. Scarecrow's gonna frame you. You are going down, Batman.
Hold and steady. I've been working on my swing. Watch and learn. And knock his head right out of the...
This is you handling it, right? Now, don't worry. You can thank me later.
We're gonna put you in the ground.
We can't let any of these weapons get onto the street. This cache needs to be destroyed.
Bruce, you need to let me help.
I had it under control. I told you I need you back in Bloodhaven.
Scarecrow, these weapons, this all affects Bloodhaven too. The best place for me is here. Look, with the amount of weapons Penguin has been running into Gotham, this cannot be everything.
He must have other caches in the city. Search this place for evidence. It should help us locate more of Penguin's refrigeration trucks.
Wow, Wanker, let's put him out of business. Seriously? You believe that accent? Maybe he only puts it on to sound scary. Are you out of your tiny mind, Bats?
How's it not doing it?
And you'll kill us both.
Shutting the vault door will contain the blast.
Normally I pay good money to see that kind of thing, but we really don't have the time. Please, what are you doing? Bats, come on. Don't lock me in here. I'll do anything. Lock me down, I'll do it. How's that, Alfred? You got it.
It shouldn't detonate until I'm further away.
Really?
Alfred, find out everything you can about Simon's dad.
Pharmaceutical magnate? Of course, sir.
Now, what have we got here? A good old-fashioned ambush. Oh, you wait there, Bats. Let your dear old Uncle Jay sort out these choppers.
Open fire! Shoot everything! Now!
How are we going to get out of this mess? Don't look at me. I'm in cold Oreo beef.
As Mars when the portal flash, reptilian slither from the storm drain grate. Join the council, primate, don't be late. I passed the wood, SF took 3 pulls. Schools went neon, started spitting jewels. Ursa farm, but the harvest stale. Let's flip the script, White House for sale.
You can't stay up there all night. You're going to have to think outside the box on this one.
Kicked down the door, living master
I'm not gonna do them.
That won't work. The sentry guns will detect.
My fellow Americans, we fed them code 420, no comparison. Auto pen wearing EO stacked like bricks. Schedule locked on, schedule green real quick. Border gates wide, sauce.
I need to find somewhere I can get a clear shot to take out the militia ambush.
Exactly. You just go collect the check and head out of this damn city. Can't wait. I hate this place. It's always raining and it stinks. Supreme Court robes on the Anunnaki bench. Rule 9-0. Blunts of free speech. Secret Service drones now roll with the fleet. Laser guided. Bomb control. Humans wake up. Tax on the road. Utopia.
Alfred, what do you have on Simon Stagg?
Odyssey, CEO of Stagg Enterprises, a company that specializes in advanced medical research and development.
I'm heading to Stagg's airships now. Scarecrow was on his way there, and that's our only link to finding Barbara.
The threat analysis indicates that Founders Island is covered by the militia's long-range radar and missile launchers. The Batmobile will be detected and targeted as soon as you cross the bridge.
Don't worry, Alfred. I'll go in on foot and stick to the rooftop. Find me the schematics of those airships.
Right away. Best of luck, sir.
Okay, I think that's all for tonight, y'all. I appreciate you all for stopping by, though. If you like tonight's video, go ahead and like. If you're new to the channel, please follow. And you never know, I may or may not be on tomorrow. Check back again and see. Have a good night.